Hi, we're back, and in this second presentation on chapter 14, we're going to be looking at the infinitives and specifically how they are used. Infinitives as verbal nouns can express purpose, and often this occurs by following certain verbs. For example, Matthew 5:17, uk eilthon, I did not come, and then katalusai, that's a first aorist active infinitive. I did not come to destroy the law or the prophets. Infinitives also follow certain prepositions, eis or pros, meaning in order that or in order to. All right, here we have the example below. Eilthon eis ta blepein auton. Eis ta means in order to. So I came in order or simply to see him. And then also the preposition pros coupled with ta, an infinitive, also expresses so that or in order to or simply to. Now, down here we have the verb exalepho that means to wipe out, deface, or obliterate. So if we take a look right here, we have an infinitive, exalephenai. That's an aorist passive infinitive. So, remember our principle. The subject of an infinitive is in the accusative case. And here, the accusative case is tas hamartias, coupled with the pronoun yours, or your sins. So that your sins may be wiped out. So this is a very common use of the infinitive to express purpose. Infinitives can also express time. You'll see the words before, while, and after. Pra, we had before as an infinitive that means before. So pra tu in an infinitive is translated as before. So here we have pra tu me elthain. Elthain's a second aorist active infinitive. Now notice the subject of the infinitive is in the accusative case, me. So that becomes the subject. So before I go. Now we also have the use of ento. That's a dative case with an infinitive, and this is translated as while, and it's going to come out sounding just like a present participle in the predicate position. So from Matthew 13:4 in the parable of the soils, we have ento sperein auton. Now auton again is the subject of the infinitive. And so it's going to be translated, and while he was sowing. Then from Matthew 26:32, we have metata plus an infinitive, and this means after. So the text there, let's pronounce it, meta ta egerthenai me. Me is the accusative that becomes the subject of the infinitive. After I have been raised. So notice again, before, while or during, and after. They can express time. Infinitives can also express result, and this would be a result clause. So, for example, we have hosta, so that, or with the result that. From 1 Thessalonians 1:8, let's pronounce this together. Hosta me chrean echein hemas lalein. So that, here is the subject of the infinitive. That's the accusative pronoun. We do not have need. And then lalein is also another infinitive that means to speak, so that we have no need to speak. As a verbal noun, the infinitive can be found as the subject. I used this earlier just as an example. To fish is fun. It can be used as a subject of a sentence. Now, from Philippians 1:21, we have ta apathanein, second aorist active infinitive. To die is an advantage. Kirdas means advantage. Here, to die is the subject. Matthew 12:10, existen, therapeuein, en to sabbato. To heal on the Sabbath is lawful, or it is lawful to heal on the Sabbath. As verbal nouns, the infinitives can also be found as the object. Let's pronounce Matthew 12:38. Didaskale thelamen apasu semean idein. Teacher, that's the vocative. Thelamen, we wish. From you, sign. Idein is a second aorist active infinitive from adon. So we wish to see a sign from you. That's the direct object of what we wish. Now, we also have the use of what are called complementary infinitives. They complement. If we hear someone say, I am about to, we normally ask the question, what are you about to do? The same holds true for verbs such as I begin or I wish. They are naturally looking for an infinitive. So Mark 10:47, this is about Bartimaeus. Erxata, first aorist, deponent, indicative, third singular. He began kradzane, present active infinitive, to cry out. Matthew 16:21. De autan apelthein. It is necessary for him to depart. That little particle there, de, it is necessary, expects an infinitive, doesn't it? And John 12:21, thelamen tan Yesun idein. We wish to see Jesus. So thelamen is a verb that expects a following infinitive, and that's complementary. So here are a number of red flag words that are going to suggest to you that an infinitive is going to follow. De, it is necessary. To. Sumfere, it is profitable or expedient. Existent, it is lawful. To. Aphelo, I owe or ought to. Melo, I am about to. Dunamai, I am able. Archemai, I begin. Zeteo, I seek. So all of these verbs are going to be looking for a complementary infinitive. Some examples here. I'm going to hit my pause button and would ask that you do the same, and then we'll come back and compare. All right, let's compare our findings. Matthew 22:3, go with a third person here. They were not wishing Elthane to come. This is about the wedding banquet and the guests who didn't want to come. in Luke's parable that we have in Luke 18, 2 men on Ebeson went up to the temple, proseuxastai, to pray. Proseuxastai, first aorist deponent infinitive. From the Transfiguration narrative, Matthew 17:4, Kyrie, Lord, it is good for us to be here. Notice here, hemas is the subject of the infinitive enai, for us to be here. Matthew 16:27, the Son of Man is about erkastai, present deponent infinitive, to come. Mark 6:2, erxata, that's looking for a complementary infinitive. So he began, didaskein, present active infinitive, to teach in the synagogue. All right, let's do some more. I'll hit my pause button. All right, from John 19:7, he ought to die, apothenein, second aorist active infinitive. Luke 19:11, because he was near Jerusalem. Autan is the subject of the infinitive enai. And dia ta with an infinitive means on account of or because. Acts 19:21, after I arrive there. Genestai can mean arrive. Genestai, second aorist deponent infinitive. And then we have day. It is necessary. Here's the subject of the infinitive is met. It is necessary for me, even idain, to see Rome. Now, Philippians 1:29 is a little tricky. Here we have 2 infinitives that are used as the subject of the sentence. So, to you it was given. Aorist passive, third singular. Not only, now we have ta, goes with pistuain, and ta also goes with paskein. Not only to believe in him, but also to suffer on his behalf. So the infinitive, pistuain, and paskein, both are the subjects of the verb it was given. All right, let's look at one more text together. And this is really the first of 3 Passion pronouncements. Apatate ha Jesus. From then, this is after Peter's confession. Jesus, now we have a red flag word, erxata, saying an infinitive is coming. He began, deiknuein, to point out. Here's the infinitive ending. Deiknuo means I point out. To point out to his disciples that, now we have another red flag word. It is necessary. And then autan's the subject. So it was necessary for him, apelthein, to depart to Jerusalem, and pathein, second aorist, active infinitive, to suffer many things from the elders and high priests and scribes. Kai apaktantenai, first aorist passive infinitive, to be killed. And on the 3rd day, agerthenai, first aorist passive infinitive. Now, here in this one verse, we have 2 verbs that suggest a complementary infinitive to follow. So the first one, erxata, he began to point out. And the second, day, is also looking for a complementary infinitive. And in this case, we have 4 infinitives that are used here: to depart, to suffer, to be killed, and to be raised. All are governed by the day. And just by way of a devotional or a comment here, very often day is a way of expressing the will of God without saying the name of God. Just because of the Jewish reticence about pronouncing the divine name. So in many of the statements in the New Testament where we find it is necessary, it really is a way of saying it is necessary because God wills it. Thanks so much, and we'll be looking forward to you, with you for the 3rd video on the practices for the infinitive.